What's going on, guys? It's Tiggers and Tokens here, back with another video. In today's video, guys, we got crypto. Oh man, crypto's been on a heater, guys. Have you seen Bitcoin finally got some life to it? It's back up here above 20,000. You had ETH get all the way up to like 1520 at around like 2 o'clock in the afternoon. Man, it's come back down a little bit to 1466. But hey, we got to get these cryptos, man, while they're still fresh on our minds. So you see, we had some positive RSI for Bitcoin, showing pretty bullish action on the chart. You see these consolidation patterns in the long runs. These consolidation pattern going another run. We're seeing that same consolidation pattern as they're showing in this video, and let's hear what they got to say. We're going to elaborate more on
this. Discuss is Brett Sifling. He's the director of Get Invested at wealth manager Gerber Kawasaki. Brett, oh my goodness, you are ready for Halloween, Brett.
my shirt, bro.
I love it. I love it. All right. So, all right. You know, Bitcoin surging past that psychologically important $20,000 threshold. Yeah, we see that Bitcoin is less volatile than stocks these days. So what do you see on the horizon?
Yeah, that's why people are starting to pile in, man. It's showing less volatility than even the stock market. So good for crypto. That's weird for crypto.
Crypto's been trading in a very, very tight range as investors are spooked really from.
More specifically, you have Bitcoin's been trading at 19 to 22,000 range for the past couple months. You've had ETH in that like 13 to 1,500 range. It's been that way for months, man, since like June.
Macro headwinds ranging from the Fed to inflation and really just a lack of positive catalysts. It's hard to imagine that this will resolve to the upside, as investors do still have a really limited risk appetite just across the board in all markets.
All right, maybe the markets are spooked, you're saying?
We see like we're seeing lower risk in crypto right now, guys. I know, like, for the long term, you ain't got to worry about no risk in these coins at all. Because, I mean, Bitcoin and Ethereum are just going to be market killers. You're going to be market crushers in the next 5 to 10 years, man. You're not going to care about any of these prices today. Your only regret's going to be not buying these prices today.
All right, so what's the significance of Bitcoin volumes going up and altcoin volumes trailing?
Yeah, I mean, Bitcoin has remained a leader in our mind. It's compared to a lot of these altcoins, it's a natural part of the business cycle too, right? We had so much froth in the last couple of years with so many projects popping up. We knew many of them would fail, but ultimately the blue chips, you could say, of the...
I think of it as like the dot-com era when you had the big hype and speculation cycle and you had all these coins pop up, or sorry, not coins, but back then you had all these businesses pop up. They would put .com on their name and their valuations would go 15, 20 times what they should have been. And you've seen a big market crash after that. I think we're seeing the same thing with crypto. It had its big speculation period last year. It's diving down now. The one thing to note from that same period is that a lot of the good, stable foundational companies, say Google, Amazon, Microsoft, they've all held up and became market leaders in just like 2 decades time. And I think you're going to see the Bitcoin and Ethereum and any of these other really great cryptos do the same thing.
The crypto world are continuing to gain market share, and that's exactly what you're saying with Bitcoin, as it's really the gold standard of the crypto world, along with Ethereum, in our opinion.
Mm-hmm.
Real silver.
And around the corner, we have the next Fed meeting and contending with a strong U.S. dollar right now. So with those events happening, which could be potentially bearish for Bitcoin, what are you watching in particular?
Yeah, I think that a lot of investors are going to be watching the Fed meeting next week, as well as the inflation report that follows in the near future. And really, that's what the conversation of the town has been about. And with the Fed raising rates, it does make more conservative investments much.
So right now, we're looking at the Fed. The Fed has done 75 basis points for the last 3 meetings. It's been 75, 75, 75. The market's been expecting lower each time. So far, we haven't seen it. So here we go. They're expecting lower again. A little more convincing now because we've had Fed Chair Daly come out and say, hey, let's cool off on these rates right here. And let's see that the economy is weakening. We're seeing data that we need to slow down the rates. And the global economy is begging for it. U.S. companies are begging for it. And we haven't seen Powell say anything, though. That's the part that gets me. Powell's really been the biggest hawk right now, and he hadn't said a word. So, and he's like the big head of the whole meeting. So I had to wait and see.
Much more attractive, and that's a part of the reason why we've been seeing a lot of the speculation and liquidity sucked out of crypto markets and a lot of the risk on assets across the board, because investors are less willing to take on this risk as we kind of head into these uncertainty periods looking at next year and onward.
All right. And yet there are some silver linings. I'm just, looking through your notes. They're pretty bullish on this new UK Prime Minister coming into office, Rishi Sunak.
Yeah, it's wonderful to see some young people and governments around the world. I
don't know about him, man. I see a lot of people talking about the guy's pro crypto, man. I'll believe it when I see it, but it just sounds like he's one of them guys that's going to be more CBDC friendly and not exactly crypto friendly. But we'll have to wait and see. I know how these insider politician, I'm gonna call it insider politician trading, because they just trade out politicians who just believe the same things they do. That allegedly, supposedly, just saying.
He's been a big, crypto proponent for a little while now, pushing through regulation. It's interesting because in crypto, innovation has outpaced the legislation that's been put forward. And that oftentimes happens with new technologies. And we're a big proponent on increasing legislation around it, because ultimately that does bring certainty to investors. It brings a
calm coolness to it. It brings certainty, and overall, it just brings more money. Because big institutions really aren't allowed to get into crypto right now, and you're seeing more institutional interest in a lot of these coins, especially Ethereum. You're seeing a massive inflow of money to Ethereum, especially from big institutions. You got Grayscale with their Ethereum futures, and I think they're even looking to do a Bitcoin and ETF, spot ETF, if I'm not mistaken. So wait till the regulations hit, and wait for the big money to start coming in, guys. And this space is gonna.
Accountability, which is really, really needed in the crypto world right now, and ultimately that protection that allows them to feel comfortable with these types of investments. So I think it's a great thing what he's doing, and ultimately I hope he does run with it, and we'll see what they want to do with stable coins and everything else.
And as a wealth advisor, what's the advice for clients who are interested in Bitcoin right now and want to wait for the bottom, et cetera, et cetera? What are you advising them on? Is it time to buy?
Right now, buy right now. I'll say this today. I'll say this tomorrow, man. I'm happy with Bitcoin. Anything under 30,000 is a good buy for me, man. I watched it trade at 30,000 like a lot last year. Watched it trade at 30,000 a long time this year. It just seems to be a good, stable support for it, at least for the next year or two. I think we'll see it bounce around that number. And a lot of analysts now are calling for Bitcoin to hit 38, 45,000, and by the end of the year, we'll see how that goes.
It's really hard to tell when markets are going to bottom, and we do believe in time in the market versus trying to time the market. And so using strategies like dollar cost averaging is super important during this time. You want to maintain an appropriate emergency fund, so if asset prices do go lower, you're not dipping into that at all. And I think that during these downtimes when things aren't so crazy, it's a really great time to look at security and how you're actually custodying your Bitcoin. And are you open to hacks or anything else that could, lose a large
That is a good point, y'all. Make sure you got your crypto safe and make sure they're secure. Don't keep all your crypto on exchanges if you can help it. If you can afford get a hardware wallet, if you can afford to get even just like a software wallet. Even I think Coinbase will provide you with a Coinbase wallet. So even that's better than just leaving it on the exchange, man, where it's open to the networks and can get hacked and stolen. And it just my best advice to you would just be get a good solid hardware wallet. If you need to store your crypto safely, guys. Not your keys, not your crypto.
Percentage of those assets. And so it's a really great time to take all of those things into consideration, get your feet wet, make sure that it's an appropriate allocation in your portfolio. But, dollar cost averaging is going to be your best friend during these volatile times.
I agree. dollar cost averaging is just a way to go strategy anyway. But the main thing I want to talk to you guys about today was the fact that the total supply of ETH has just been steady going down, guys. I showed this image in the chart in the thumbnail. Do you see the supply has been this is like before merge right here, right from where the merge started. You see you've seen us up supply in ETH, but as trading volume has picked back up, you're starting to see the supply actually start to go back down. So ETH has become deflationary, y'all. ETH is losing ETH over year. It's down a whole 0.1%. And that's what the trading volume we have right now. That's never mind getting back to like the all-time highs when everybody's really excited about cryptos again. And I wouldn't be surprised to see this number go up to maybe even 1%, 2% every year, man. Oh, man. You understand, like, this is why they call it ultrasound money. This is ultrasound money. You can't say the same thing for gold or silver, man. They're not going to just slowly lose supply over a year. We're actually adding more and more supply to these precious metals every year. And here you are. You're seeing it right here in your face. The ETH you're losing supply of ETH. So each one's going to become more and more valuable over time. Even Bitcoin, it's adding, a small amount, but it's adding more and more every year until it caps out at 21 million. And we're starting to see ETH just slowly trend down in total state and total ETH. And a lot of it comes down to this too, is that you're not seeing as much trading in ETH anymore. A lot of people are actually starting to stake their Ethereum, me included. I stake every single Ethereum I've got. It surpasses 14 million in Q3 amid 64% decline in price. So all the people who are here in Ethereum right now are here to stay. They're here because they want to get a good long-term foundation built in. They're staking it too because they know they can get more out of the coin going long-term. Guys, you got to be in this for the long term. It's proof of stake now. Every ETH you got right now is going to be well worth more in the future, man. It's going to be harder and harder to get Ethereum because they're becoming deflationary. They're going away. Every ETH you got now is like an Ethereum that you won't have tomorrow. If you get what I'm saying. If you give it back to the system, let it get traded away, that's on you. I'm just trying to let y'all know that Ethereum's here to stay. Ethereum's going to make you some money. It's the second largest crypto. I think you hear some of the bulls out there on it will say, it's likely to flip Bitcoin to big flipping. It's going to overtake Bitcoin's market cap and become the largest crypto, the largest one. So we'll have to wait and see. I think it's possible. I ain't going to bet the farm on that, but I'm going to continue to buy both Bitcoin and Ethereum because I think they're both fantastic coins for the long term. And I'll keep a small position in altcoins out there. Shout out to Solana, Cardano, SHIB. I got it all, man. I love crypto, man. I think it's a fantastic vehicle to put your money into, and you're gonna be surprised where it goes in the future. I think we all are. But that's pretty much it for today's video, guys. I just wanted to bring this to your attention because I think it's awesome that ETH is finally going deflationary, and we will see it increase in value in the long run. Give it about 3, 5, 10 years. If you're willing to wait that long, I promise you won't be disappointed. Like and subscribe if you enjoyed the video, guys, and looking to come back to you later with a new one. Take care.